I'm home from work. Oh. Sir Arlington. You wish for me to entertain you? Of course, my leash. Does this please you, sire? Oh, please, sire. Please, I'll improve. Sire, I'm sorry. I'll get better. I'll practice. I'll practice every day. No. Inevitably, your Doberman's going to take over some portion of your life, but it doesn't need to be anything like that. Let me tell you guys real quick what prompted this video. A few weeks ago, I was doing a private one-on-one coaching service with one of my clients, and during that call, he was telling me about 4 or 5 different behavioral problems he was having with his Doberman, who is under 1 year of age. And I started to realize that every single one of the behavioral problems that he was having with his dog could be explained by a dominance issue in the dog, and specifically the dog challenging him for the role of the alpha position in the house. And I realized he's probably not alone. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who are having multiple behavioral problems with your young Doberman and maybe don't even realize that some of these can be related to a struggle for the leadership position, but they are. All right, real quick, let's talk about a few of the behavioral problems that could be attributed to a struggle for leadership position or alpha position in the household. Now, this can happen really at any age for the dog, but it's most common between about the 4 month of age to 1 year of age window, because during that time frame, the dog is really jockeying for position in the house and testing the boundaries to see what they can get away with. Now, here are some of the possible signs that you might be struggling with a dominance issue in your Doberman. And now, remember, Dobermans are very dominant dogs, so these are sometimes pretty common. Number 1 is defecating or urinating in the house after they're potty trained. Number 2, showing aggression towards anybody coming onto the property or into the house. Number 3, ignoring you when you're giving them a command you know that they know very well. Not moving out of your way when you tell them to. Showing aggression to you in any way, shape, or form. Snarling, snipping, showing the teeth, biting, anything like that. Getting on furniture and refusing to get off after they're on there. And jumping up on you. That one's really common as far in general with Dobermans, but it also happens as a dominance thing. And lastly, not releasing an object when you tell them to, even though they know the drop command, for example. Now, I do want to make it clear that there are many possible explanations for each of these behaviors I just listed out, but at least one explanation for every single one of them is a dominance issue in your dog. So if you're experiencing multiple of these behavior problems that I just listed out, there's a higher likelihood that you might be locked into a dominant struggle with your dog and maybe not even realize it. Okay, so we know by now that if you're seen as a leader or the alpha in your pack or your family, then it just makes training your Doberman with commands and behaviors just so much easier and things just come so much smoother to them. But how do you do that? Well, the easiest way I found to do that, of course it's an attitude thing as well, but there are little things that you can do every single day to continually reinforce your role as the alpha in the house. And you know, use some common sense here. If you have an adult Doberman with some dominance issues that's getting to the point where it's getting scary or it could be a dangerous situation, then definitely consult with a professional, a trainer or behavioralist who can adapt a custom plan specifically for your dog in your situation, because every situation is a little bit different. Now, here are a few things you can do every single day. Number 1, walk through doors first. Anytime you're going through a door into or out of your house, always make sure you walk through first. And once you go through, give your dog the stay command, wait a few seconds, and then give them a release command. In the dog world, the leader of the pack always goes through in a new place first. So by instinct alone, your Doberman is going to want to be the first one in through the door, trust me. But if you make it a habit of making him stay at the threshold of the door and you go through first every single time, and then wait for that release command, you will just continually reinforce your role as a leader. Number 2, at mealtime, always ask for something from your dog first before you allow him to eat. So what I mean by that is get your bowl full of dog food, place it behind you, stand in front of that bowl and between the dog and his food, and ask him to perform 1 to 3 commands for you before you give him the release command and allow him to go eat. Now, this is a great way, by the way, to teach your dog new commands. During this time, this is where I teach Arla most of his commands because at that point they're super, super focused on you. But Just by regulating under what circumstances your dog is allowed to eat and giving him the release command after you've asked something from him, you've just helped solidify yourself as a leader. Number 3, physically stop them from eating during mealtime. Now, the way I do this, and this was given to me as a tip when I first got my first Doberman, which I'm so glad this person told me about this, but you could put your hand in the dog's bowl while they're eating in the middle of their meal and make them stop, physically block them from eating, and pause for a few seconds, and then remove your hand and allow them to continue eating. In the wild, the alpha dog can stop anybody in the pack from eating at any time, pretty much at will. So it'll reassert you as the alpha. Plus, it has the added benefit of really, if you start this young, making sure that they don't grow up to have a biting or nipping problem or overprotectiveness of their food. Now, if a Doberman or any dog is gonna snap or bite at their owner, one of the most common times this happens is around protectiveness of their food. So use a little common sense here. If you're doing this, especially with an adult Doberman, you've never done it before, you might wanna use another object besides your hand to block the dog the first time. But ideally, start this when they're a brand new puppy, maybe 8 weeks old when you first get them, and then it'll really help prevent some biting problems down the road and continually reinforce yourself as a leader. Now, the next one is to have dedicated training sessions every single day. Now, look, I get it. Life is really busy, but I've told you on this channel many times how important routine is. Just try to work in a time of your day that is always dedicated to training a few commands, either teaching your dog new ones or reinforcing old ones every single day. Not only will that help reinforce you as the leader in the house because you're demanding that they obey you and they pay attention to you and really interacting with them, but it'll help you bond with your dog more, and it engages their mind, so it has a similar effect as exercising your dog when it comes to anxiety. It can help relieve a lot of anxiety and stress and other things. So it's just such a good thing to do for many reasons, more than just reinforcing your role as the leader. But hey, I'm busy too. I totally get it. If you can only work in 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. 10 minutes of dedicated training time with commands every day is way better than none. Number 5, walk side by side on a leash. This is really important, and actually it's very instinctual for a Doberman to take the lead. Now, Dobermans can be very dominant or kind of moderately so, depending on your individual dog, but the more dominant they are, the more stubborn and demanding they're gonna be about always taking the lead when you're out on a walk on the leash. So be really strict at this. Keep them right there at your side all the time. Otherwise, if you let them out in front, they're just reinforcing to you consistently that they are the leader and they're leading you around. So don't let that happen. Take lots of breaks though. This doesn't have to be a militaristic walk. Take lots of breaks, let them sniff around, be a dog. But even on the breaks, if they start trying to pull you one way, tell them, nope, we're going this way, and make them go the other direction because you're the leader. Now, there's a lot more to this leash training thing, and if you want to learn exactly how to do this in a way a Doberman will understand, that video should be popping up right now in the corner of your screen. Number 6, remember what you say goes. Never let your dog get out of something that you've told them to do or not to do. For example, let's say they're sitting up on the couch and you've told them to get off the couch and they're whining and complaining or ignoring you, and you just go, oh man, I'm too tired, I can't pursue this, I'm just gonna let them stay. Not a big deal. It is a big deal because you just reinforce that they made the rules. In fact, something like that, being up on the furniture and then letting them tell you that you're not getting them off the furniture, can actually lead to aggressive thing and protectiveness over that spot on the couch later on. Or let's just say you're playing with your dog and you tell them to drop the toy and the dog goes, oh, my owner just told me to drop it, I'm gonna take off with my toy the other direction. And you go, oh man, I don't wanna pursue that dog and make him drop it. Forget it, and you just walk away. That's the worst thing you could do because you just told your dog that they can make the rules and that they're the leader. And yeah, every single time, rock solid consistent. If you told them to drop that toy, you need to make them drop it. If they've taken off, you need to go get them and make sure they drop that toy every single time. If you do, things will go a whole lot smoother. Number 7, never yell or hit your dog. Now, not hitting your dog might be an obvious one, but even irate yelling is something you really shouldn't do either. Being firm and having a firm voice is fine. In fact, that's encouraged in some circumstances. But yelling and being kind of irate is kind of just more of a sign that you're losing control to your dog. In fact, it might embolden them to struggle harder for the leadership position in your family because they'll see you as slowly kind of losing control and that they're making progress. So instead, have the attitude that a leader would have. Be calm, be consistent. You can still be firm at times, but definitely never get irate or you'll just be emboldening your dog to work harder with their stubbornness. Look, a Doberman is naturally a pretty dominant dog, so take these things very seriously and ideally start these when the dog is young, make them a habit and do them every single day. Just get consistent with it. And you know, these are tips and tricks that were taught to me long ago, and I'm so glad I listened because I ended up with some really well-mannered, awesome adult Dobermans, and just do these things and you'll also end up with a great dog that'll just have a rock solid temperament and a dog that you can just really be proud of. Before you guys take off, definitely check out some of the other videos I have here on my channel, Doberman Planet. I have done videos on all the different aspects of Doberman care and training, from training commands to tricks to potty training, leash training, everything you can think of. They're all there in my channel for you to check out, and they're all custom tailored to techniques that specifically work the best for the Doberman breed. And before you take off, hit that subscribe button down below and the bell icon next to it. It'll make sure you don't miss any of my future videos. And who knows, the next video I release might be that one that you've been waiting for that'll make all the difference with your dog. So definitely hit that bell icon too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't tell my subscribers how much I really appreciate your support here on Doberman Planet. And you guys have helped me out so much. You've taught me so many things that I've then gone out and tested with other Dobermans and been able to relay back to you guys. I've learned so much from you. I really hope I'm doing you guys justice. I'm not going anywhere. I'll keep doing my best to help you out with your dogs. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Hey, Arlo, please don't kill me.